What's going on, Bam Bam Rants fans? On this episode, we're going to talk about Brittney Griner, and unfortunately, we're going to talk about the injustice that happened to my boy, Alex effing Jones. And first things first, I'm sorry it's been a while, but had nobody really done anything stupid except for Vince McMahon. That'll be another episode after tonight's Raw. And, I mean, hey, who hasn't paid for casual hookups, but none of us ever had to make them sign an NDA. So, that'll be another good episode. First things first, we're going to talk about Brittney Griner. She got 9 years in a Russian prison for less than a half a gram of cannabis oil. Number one, but I'm going to put this out here. I'm a big fan for the advocate of marijuana. Big fan. I think it should be legal. It's probably the most medicinal plant we have. And here in America, it's a shame that we even lock people up for it. You know, but if you don't believe we actually lock people up for it, go ask Kamala Harris. She'll know what you're talking about. But she got 9 years, and we're talking about a prisoner swap for Victor Boot, the Merchant of Death, and some dude in Germany, in exchange for Paul Whelan, a former Marine who's serving 16 years of hard labor, not prison, but hard labor in Russia for espionage. And Brittney Griner, who's, like I said, got sentenced to 9 years for cannabis oil. My thoughts are this. It's a shame that she's locked up. Yeah, I'll give it that. But she took it over there. She pled guilty. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. You know, I don't care what the government does, but I don't think we should be giving away the Merchant of Death who sold millions of dollars worth of arms and was convicted of attempted sale. He didn't actually, no money changed hands, no weapons changed hands. It was pretty much, hey, I'm going to give you this, you buy this. Pretty much a conspiracy charge that he got for, and he's serving 25 years. He's currently done like 10, and he's in USP Marion. I don't think we should be giving him up because he's going to go back doing the same old shit. And that's that, but my whole point on the Griner situation has been this. If it had been me or any other ordinary citizen, would nobody give two craps about us? We wouldn't even be a blip on the CNN news. So, yeah. I don't care if she comes home. I don't care if they swap. I don't care. That's Russian law, not U.S. law. Now, had it been in the U.S., I would be 100% on her side that she shouldn't even be in jail for cannabis. I mean, Iman Shumpert, who's a former NBA basketball player, he's facing, I believe, 2 to 10 for, I think, 7 grams of marijuana that they found in an airport. I'm not real sure on the details. I'll fact check myself. But enough about Brittney Griner. We're going to talk about the big thing that's really pissed me off here lately. And that's Alex Jones' defamation suit. He didn't even have a chance to defend himself. And if I was him, I would appeal this BS verdict. Just because they said he didn't comply with discovery and hand over documents, when it came out in court that not only did they have the documents, they had his whole freaking cell phone history for the past 2 years. And Alex Jones was 100% right. What was he hiding? He gave the lawyers the phone, and the lawyers, done a dumb blunder. They actually gave away the whole freaking cell phone content. Stupid move. Stupid move. But what really gets me is, and I know the judge probably won't see this, but I hope she does. She was biased towards the families of the quote-unquote Sandy Hook mass shooting. And I'm going to put it out here for the whole world to know. I 100% don't believe it happened. I don't believe it happened. For very many reasons. The main reason is, I was in middle school when Columbine happened. And we didn't have the internet that we have now. We didn't have half the BS that we have now. And yet, we got to see crime scene photos of it. We got to see victims. We got to see perpetrators. Hell, we even seen the school surveillance footage from Columbine. But yet, we don't have any of that from Sandy Hook. And the only reason these quote-unquote parents even went after Alex Jones is because Alex Jones has money. That's all it is. It's a big money grab by these people. Sandy Hook didn't happen. They never showed surveillance footage inside that school. And I know there's surveillance cameras inside of the school, because when I was in elementary school 25, 30 years ago, we had surveillance cameras. My kids, when they were in elementary school, they had surveillance cameras. But they don't have surveillance cameras now? Come on. Wake up, people. And then another thing, the reason that they didn't allow Alex Jones to have a freaking defense in this whole thing is because it would have came out that it didn't happen. Even though Alex Jones did admit, and has admitted for years, that it happened. I don't believe it happened, and I never listened to Alex Jones during the whole Sandy Hook thing. I was too busy. I was doing something called working. I work now. I work 60 plus hours a week. But I research, I read. It never happened. You can convince me that Uvalde happened the way it did before you can sit there and convince me that Sandy Hook was not an inside job to create gun control. Because at least with Uvalde, we had pictures of the police on the inside of the school. We've seen crime scene photos. But we don't see anything from Sandy Hook. It's ridiculous. And if you want me to go more in detail on Sandy Hook, I'll be glad to. I'll be very glad to.